This is World News Report Today, I think, his channel. He put up a video called NOAA Unpredicted Geomagnetic Storm and Very Dangerous Sunspot. Well, you know me, I like to look at these pictures and these images because they're kind of like mirrors. Um, I don't know how to say it. A lens. Okay, but you should be able to see it. Because as I was showing you, like on my body, these images, or how when I look at a picture or anything, I can see other things in the pictures that other people can't see. It's like there's, I think, on my spiritual journey and my training that I've been doing in notes, I think it's like activating something inside of us to where we can see it. Well, we can see it clearer and nobody else can see it. That's why, sometimes when people look up in the sky, you get two people that look up in the sky, and one says, "Can you see that?" Say UFO or something, and the other one's like, "No, I can't see anything," because they can both look up there, but they both can't see it. Maybe that goes to the parable of there'll be two men in the field. One will go, one will leave, and the other one will stay. Or, the women, one woman will stay and one will go. Maybe it has to do with something of that type of the parable. But I want to look right here because you can clearly see there's somebody right there. There's his hand. He's sitting in a chair. But the chair looks quite interesting because the chair looks like, I think it might be a dragon's face. But I wanted to look at this really closely, and I wanted to try to figure out this image over here. If I could, because there's been a lot of cats all over me, and that's kind of looks like it's got a cat face on it. And there's this guy. Isn't this interesting? I find this stuff so fascinating because they're there for a reason. I would show signs above and below. And I think our world is so programmed at what type of signs to look for, because now this channel, he's only talking about the activity, the solar sunspots, the things that are coming off it. No one talks about these images within the sun. It's like a mirror that's projecting onto us or something. But this is interesting. Looks like a time wheel, or it looks like a movie script reel. A movie script reel. That's fascinating. Maybe I was supposed to see that for a reason. Movie script reel. Movie reel. Movie reel. Image. Yeah. Like a movie reel. Like that. Maybe it's kind of like Ezekiel's wheel too, or a wheel in time, or a gear inside of a clock, right? Since we're in a time clock, a time vessel, maybe it's a time machine. But I think that's very interesting and a good image to actually see how it looks like a wheel in the back. Maybe that's Ezekiel. Interesting, though. But I think this image could be looked at differently too, because I'm looking at it from this perspective too, because you can see an eyeball there and an eyeball there. There's another face on there. I think it might be a rabbit because it looks like it's got buck teeth. I wonder if that's a rabbit. Interesting. I'm going to try to turn it this way to see if I can get anything else to pop out. And then I'm going to show you some notes that I was doing yesterday, because it's so fascinating. Okay, as above, so below, as above. As within, so without, as within. Okay, now, remember I was showing you this drawing that I did the other day. I was giving you all the keys from for our chakra center. So the 7 bowls, the 7 crowns, the 7 trumpets, the 7 seas, the 7 seals are right here in the center of us. Okay, and these are the notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. These are the Giza pyramids, right? Right here's the bigger one because our gut's usually bigger, our heart right here, and this one up here, the smaller one. But I think also that is also representing the Ben stone, a capstone, because it's right here on top of a cap, on top of our head. So the Orion's belt, ion is an atom, molecule, atomic molecule. Or is like an organ, right? O, and then the R is probably something receiver, whole receiver. I'm not sure. But anyway, Orion is the hunter, the huntsman. Okay, so what else I want to show you? So it's kind of like saying from the dome inside of us too, the dome inside of us plus the dome inside the world. So I'm trying to get you to look at you, your body, and the environment that we're in. Okay, so red is like right behind. So the red is like fire, the furnace going into Hades. O for orange, the clay. Yellow for the sun. Green for the heart. What is it? Green pastures. I think it's Psalms 23. I lie down in green pastures. Green pastures is a green screen, right? So the 4 corners of the earth is a green screen. So our mind's eye and our eyes are our mind's eye is somehow connected to the moon, projecting our reality. So our DNA that we're born with, the XY for man and XX female, when we're born as a fetus, we're already programmed with the codes. So our parents, my father's 72,000 Y chromosome, my mother's 72,000 X chromosome, so water and fire created me at 144,000 chromosomes, or 144,000, the chosen. So it's like if you look at it, we're all chosen if we can see the Christ within. So then you got blue. So remember I was telling you, so this is the moon projecting, the moon, the projector, I'm projecting. And then, and my mouth is projecting and stuff like that. It's also, I discovered this morning, the 5 golden rings. Let's see here. Indigo. Okay, how did I do that? Purple. Oh yeah, purple or violet, whatever they call it. So violet, B represents 5. IO represents the golden ratio, and then let, right? I got to thinking let. I wonder what that means. Like an outlet, an inlet, outlet or inlet. So inlet, eyes, ears, outlet, our mouth, our eyes, our facial expression, skin moving, that, our senses. It's so interesting, right? Okay, I know I'm going really fast. So I'll go here. Forehead, projector. 2 eyes, receiver. 2 ears, tone and sound. 1 mouth, to reap what we sow or sown or spoken. And let's see here. 2 hands, to script, create, and art. Now the huntsman, right here, Orion, so the hunter comes up out of Hades, right? So we're born in sin. Sin is a sign, like a sine wave. There are ups and downs, like a merry-go-round, or riding the waves. uh, and then sign is time. So we're born into a time clock, a time machine. So now it's powered by our solar plexus and the heart and the mind. So Giza, remember I was telling you about Egypt, Giza, the big one down here is our GI tract, the big pyramid. Next one is the heart, and the next one is our head, right? So we're projecting onto the land, and we have the sun as our energy. This is the core of our body, like a chimney. Chimney. Okay, so Hades going below our waistline, hell down by our feet, and then heaven going up this way. So the huntsman or the hunter is climbing his way up to the top, because Orion climbed, the hunter or the huntsman climbed his way all the way up to the top, and that's how he made his mark in the heavens. Since he made it all the way to the top, they took his image and put it in the stars. Isn't that interesting? And he's represented by the sword coming on up, and he has a shield in the other hand. But I think the sword is over here in the left hand, the shield is over in this hand. And then you've got the other one with the lantern. So you've got God, the name of God. G, the letter G in Hebrew goes this way, and in Greek it goes the opposite way, right? So O is the light, right? The light, the O, our mind's eye. And then you've got the letter D for God, is going to be the triangle. It's the prism, the light. So it's covering the cap. So the light is going through the prism, right? From black and white to color, that kind of like thing. So it looks like a lampstand. Remember Mary Poppins pulls out of her bag that big lampstand? It's God. It's the light. God's light is our soul, right? Isn't this interesting? So God sees everything we do, and we're projecting our reality. So when we look up above, we have the moon as this camera projector. We have the sun as a light, like a light bulb or a light lens, perhaps. Maybe that's why we can see people in it. Maybe it's a mere reflection. And then here you have this square. So remember when back in the beginning where they were like, Earth can't be square because you fall off. Well, then that's when they made it round, so it appears that everybody's not falling off. Well, the reason why Earth is square is because it's kind of like a box. So when the ships go here, they can still keep going because this is a fabric of time. In other words, we're in this world. It's like, I don't know if you've seen the cartoons of Bugs Bunny, where there's Bugs Bunny's on the screen and he's going through his act and everything, and all of a sudden this giant pencil will come through and erase, or it will draw something else in, or it will change him. And he always goes, "Hey, buddy, hey, pal." And well, the guy that's got the pencil is in control at all times, and he kind of makes Bugs Bunny know that I'm in control at all times. So anyway, green screen, green pastures. I make you lie down in green pastures, right? Is this a trip or what? So our GI tract is the gastrointestinal, and then Giza, GI, get it? Gastrointestinal tract, GI, and then I was like Giza, maybe like Jesus or Giza, because down here where the triangle would be, the bigger one would be our GI tract, would be our semen, and our semen, and then up here is our heart where our blood's pumping, and then up here is our pituitary and pineal gland, right? This gives us vital hormones, the hand of God. our blood, creates the T3, T4, and the B helper cell and pumps it all through the entire system. And then our solar plexus, our gut, is actually a filter, an intestine. It pulls out the nutrients to feed our blood. And then that produces the semen, the Y chromosome, the hand of God kind of like thing, the water. It's so interesting, right? Okay, I know I'm cruising really super fast, so you may have to stop and go back. If you look at the Einstein-Rosen bridge, it shows like this funnel. But I seen a picture, like the top. So that's like the top of our head, and this is down by our waistline. Remember, it's like pooping out our poopy hole or peeing out, or, and then the women's part. So it's like we can either go that direction up, or we can go this direction. Now, I'm not saying that we have to, not do this at all down here. We just have to understand what this is being created for and how vital it is. And that is our chi, our life force energy. So our chi has to rise up. The dragon rises up out of the deep up to the top, right? I think there's a parable in scripture about that. Okay. So, it's so interesting because I was looking at this and I was hearing lights, action, camera. So I was like, oh my goodness. So the light is the sun. The action is the moon, because the moon controls the seasons. It controls the water in the body, and it controls the scenery. It's because if you look at the face of the moon, it kind of looks like the continents of on Earth. It's so bizarre, right? So it's like when you look at the moon, that big white spot, and you see that's like the whole front end of a screen of a lens of a big camera. Let's see here. Green pastures. I make you lie down in green pastures, right? The heart and our GI tract, right? If we have our stomach hurts or whatever, I make you lie down. I'll make you ill. And then, let's see here. This is important. So we have the X chromosome, which is iron and fire. The Y chromosome, the kind of like the yod, which is for the water. It's kind of like a tuning rod too. So Poseidon, right? So the forks of Poseidon, the three forks. So the three brains, 1, 2, 3. The three seeds planted, 1, 2, 3. Very interesting, right? Okay, so Poseidon, the huntsman is a child of Poseidon. So he's a demigod. Demi, D-E, means off or from. So the huntsman was created off or from Poseidon. Me is our solar plexus. It's here, me, right there, our belly button kind of thing. Me, the soul. So that would be sun, our sunshine soul. Then God would be the lampstand. So it's kind of like lights, action, camera. I've not been to a movie script or done that, but I've seen some of the back things of it. And then how the moon makes a figure 8. Yeah, they're always showing the moon making a figure 8 in the sky. Well, if you look at these old films, they go like this. It's like, it goes and feeds this way and it goes around, I think, is what it's showing. So when I was looking at the movie reel and the movie player, let's see here. Movie reel and player. Let's see if we can see that. Yeah, so this is going to blow people away. So if you look at it, it looks like a Mickey Mouse, and then you have this big lens in front, right? So picture, that's probably why they don't show the back side of this front facing. So the lens, the facing of the moon is going to be the front part. They never go behind the moon. So the backside of the moon is off limits. No one can ever go there. Probably because of that. You can see it. Mickey Mouse, right? Disneyland. So Disney or Dizzyland. Let's see. Well, what was I talking about? And then you have the wheel, and perhaps that's what they're talking about, the wheel of time. So if we go to a certain time for 1,000 years, perhaps this movie player plays out for for a certain time period, and then it changes into a new realities. Like right now, we're going into a new empire takes over, and a new world with Christ. So I bet you there's going to be a new script, probably with new lighting. Who knows, maybe another backdrop, or maybe it's going to be the same thing repeated over and over until people can actually use the stars above, use the mere reflection of the sun, the moon, and look at the world as it is. It's a square, like a square box. If you look at the Islam, so IS, Lam is lamb, right? So iron staff, lamb. And then you've got Judaism. Jew means giant. Day is El Shaddai. And then the S is summon mountain, probably. Who knows? Oh, yeah, it could be, because that's representing the umbrella, the top, right? The cover. So the top of our head, the dome. So this is interesting because we know in our world we have a dome that's over this square thing, as they tell us. But I think what's happening is it looks like when you look at Islam, where'd I draw it? I drew it over here. The big black box, and they have all these rings that go around the circle, and all the people line up around the rings like they're watching something. So I think what's happening here is that those rings are supposed to make the box, like the box. I think what they're doing is they're worshiping these things, like they're worshiping the green screen. Let's see here. What else? Oh, the cross. You got the cross. So they're worshiping the cross, right? But the cross goes straight down our body right here in the temple mind. So Jesus's like arms are stretched out. So our heart across the land and across heaven. So you got this big cross. Well, it looks like a big antenna that you tune. Well, if you turn your body a certain way, you can hear ears ringing. You can you can tell the sounds from different places. Let's see, who else? That's Islam. Judaism. Oh, the star of, I think, Star of David, which would represent over here our right hand, fire, air, water, soul, and land. So by flipping it over, the Star of David, you got the goat man. So when you look at the gay parade, and don't pick on me or anything, I'm a bi man, and I'm mostly, pretty much a gay man, but I'm mainly just want to say I'm bi because I have male and female chromosome, but sexually I prefer men over women, and there's a reason for that. I don't deal with double fire very well. But if you look at the gay flag right now, they got the gay flag turned upside down, and they also have the purple rain as being on the bottom of where red is here. They got purple down here. So that's saying Hades is reigning. These people, I swear, and I'm sure that a lot of them don't do it. They don't worship Hades, but what they're doing, their flag symbolizes that it's all about the sexual pleasure. It's all about this. It's not about heaven and relationship. and understanding, God, the light of our soul that is in us, the Christ within. So Christ isn't without. Well, Christ is out. He's part of the system, but he's also part of our system. And this is our whole thing, is that we have to track down and discover God. We have to seek him out. We have to knock on the door. We have to climb our way up. We have to do the works. If we don't do the works, then how do we expect? Oh, I know how we expect. It's because in a blink of an eye, everything will be changed. But see, everybody thinks this in a blink of an eye that they're going to be taken. No, it just says everything will change in a blink of an eye. So imagine if we're in this computer system program that's connected to our bodies in some type of stasis, but our consciousness is connected to a computer program and we're zapped into it, and it feels like we're trapped in this world, which we probably are trapped in this world or trapped in time until we can find our way out and discover our relationship to the world, and that we are actually a simulation in a program. Our program started with our DNA. It's like it's a track. So you take your, what does it go, DNA track, and I think it goes up like this. So it's a track. And then you've got your GI track, the pyramids. 1, 2, and then 3. Maybe that's the 3 French hens. Who knows? On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge and a pear tree. Pear because we kind of pair out a little bit. And a pear tree. On the second day, 2 turtle doves. So one side and the other side, right and left, right down the middle, split. 2 turtle doves. And then 3 French hen is the GI tract, the heart, and the temple mind. 4 calling birds. I think the 4 calling birds could be. I think it might have to do with both of our hands, 1, 2, and our feet. Maybe that. I'm not too sure. Or it could be the tones that we use out of our voice. Let's see, 5 golden rings. 5 golden rings, that's what I was looking at, because the golden ratio, that is golden ratio, so our ears are a golden ratio, both sides of them, there's 2 there. Our eyes form a golden ratio. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other golden ring would be our mind's eye. I think they call it the eye of Ra. So we got 5 golden rings. I put the mouth as a golden ring too. But that'd be 6 golden rings. But I don't think the mouth is represented, because the mouth doesn't really have it does have a ring. But I don't know. But just to throw that out there. Okay, I've been talking for a while, so let's be the hunter, the huntsman, and find our path, and discover what is happening here in this world, the actual truth compared to all the stories. I make you lie down in green pastures and green screen. And then looking at your mind's eye and looking at what you're doing and drawing is a projection of what you're discovering, your reality. It's like you're writing your own script. So with King Arthur, right? King Arthur he pulled the sword out of the stone. Remember, when we're born, the male penis, the sword, goes into the woman's wormhole, the vagina. An egg rolls down, a dragon's egg, like a hot rock, comes down. A male sword goes into the hot stone. It creates a fetus. Now it's created a king solo man, because I'm solo and I'm a man. Or mon, I think, is neutral for man or woman, or men, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's representing male or female. I'm not sure. Or just neutral, because this is a neutral zone. This is positive brain, neutral zone, negative left brain. So, okay, so the scene, so we got the scene, right? Because our eyes, we got the action, our body, and we got the flat screen, so our action, and then I was trying to figure out some words that we're using. So cut, or that's a wrap, or that's a take. But so anyway, going back to, sorry, I went on a tangent. So when we get our biblical cord cut from mother and we come out of the deep, next thing you know, we're on our own way. So now it's like we're taking the sword out of the stone. So King Arthur is the author of your own story.